shouldn't have said that. I should not have said that. I shouldn't have said that.
Greetings, fellow mortals. Just a reminder saying it's just my opinion is for cowards. Our top news story for the day is that Trump v. Harris 1 ended in a no contest. In this match for the recently vacated presidential championship, the very obvious and expected favoritism on one side caused Trump to make the weird decision to repeatedly put his foot in his mouth and punch himself in. Oddly enough, he seemed surprised by the handicap stipulation that he himself agreed to. With the situation clearly getting under his skin, he decided to make the unusual decision to throw his entire strategy out the window, tackling the referees to the ground and repeatedly biting them in the face. Meanwhile, his opponent Harris was standing on the top rope laughing maniacally. When asked what was so funny, Vice President Harris revealed that the debate was sponsored by Joker 2. Throughout the match, Trump was screaming that he didn't want to talk about past grievances against him, all the while repeatedly talking about past grievances he has against everyone else. All the while, Harris continued to plug the Joker 2 movie while not revealing anything about herself, her motivations, or her hidden moves. Because the match was no DQ and the referees were a little bit busy trying to bite Trump's toes off, the contest eventually ended with the time limit. The results were clear. Everyone involved with this was a giant loser, so we'll have to wait until November for the rematch to see who the next presidential champion will be. With 15% of the audience thinking that Trump won, 15% thinking that Harris won, and 69% sobbing in the corner at the state of the world, it leaves a 1% like me to laugh at the absurdity of it all. With the Rings of Power being so beloved by the fans, the decision to make more movies has come down from the corpos. Having not learned anything from the Hobbit movies or from the Gollum game, the corpos decided to make the obvious choice of dividing the search for Gollum into 2 movies. This is part of the TikTok challenge to make the slowest and most boring Lord of the Rings content that ever existed. The competition to see who can spit on Tolkien's grave from the furthest away is tough. When asked about it, the corpos instead turned to Harry Potter. Despite having to disavow J.K. Rowling with every other sentence, they're very excited with casting the new actors for each of the characters. They went on to say that they plan to take extra precautions to protect the children from online weirdos who have only ever read one book series. A committee consisting of Leslie Headland, Dr. Disrespect, and Mr. Beast are going to work together in order to make sure that all of the children are safe. When the corpos were done patting themselves on the back for ordering remakes of stories that have been completed for a very, very long time, a reporter raised their hand and asked, "Hey, why don't you adapt any other of the fantasy series out there?" To which the corpos responded, "Oh, that would be very, very hard. That would be a risk and the stockholders wouldn't like that, even though there's already established fan bases for all of these different series. Instead, let's just keep remaking the same things over and over and over again."
You've seen this before?
11 times, as a matter of fact.
Sony continues to have a mixed year with the PlayStation. They've already had the phenomenal success of Helldivers 2, only for them to ruin it on PC by requiring you to sign on to PlayStation Network while also being on your computer. Never mind that there are plenty of players in various countries who are unable to do that. After taking a $200 million bath with a failure that is known as Concord, they found a little bit of success with Astrobot, building a little bit of goodwill with the fans. Having a single week of success, Sony decided to ruin it all by revealing the PlayStation 5 Pro. They're trying to release a console without any way to put in discs. This bold strategy is following the meme of the PlayStation 5 having no games. Many have started to question why they would go down the meme strategy after already having a giant failure with Morbius 2 times over. When questioned why in the world they would make this terrible decision, Sony executives revealed that they have a secret pact with Microsoft to make both the PlayStation and the Xbox suck epic donkey balls. When defeated by both Nintendo and PC gaming, the 2 corporations will fuse into one giant monster, which will terrorize the streets of downtown Tokyo. Sony went on to say that they're attacking Japan because the Japanese make too many games that people love. Nintendo has responded to this strategy by dropping 10 video games that people have been begging for years. But they have lost a bit of goodwill when they've decided to sue every single person in the world named Mario. With every other company in the world being completely evil, Steam has won the war by simply doing nothing and giving the people what they want.
Give me what I want! Give me what I want!
The recent passing of James Earl Jones has left everyone saddened by the loss of the most epic voice to ever exist. As everyone takes a moment to mourn, they question why in the world 2024 is taking some of the most talented, influential people from our childhood away while leaving the dreck behind. A petition has been started to retire all of his previous characters. Unfortunately, the corpos have decided that they cannot let a good death be wasted. Remakes and sequels of all of his films have been announced. When asked who could possibly take James Earl Jones' place, the corpos said no one. That's why they're not going to recast, they're just going to bring him back as AI. People were immediately outraged by the idea, questioning what the actors and writers strike was even for. When asked, every single creative person in Hollywood shrugged and said, it's about the money. With integrity now completely dead, Star Wars has decided to use Jones's voice for the rest of eternity. In fact, there are now also plans to use Mr. Jones's voice in remakes of RoboCop, The Matrix, and Terminator. His epic voice will be used as the narrator of each film to warn the audience of how evil AI can be. But in a more serious note, rest in peace James Earl Jones, you will be missed. 93 though, that's really good.
It should have been me, not him! It's not fair!
The script for the third Dune movie, Dune Messiah, is currently being worked on. Due to the time skip and how strange the story gets, the director is having a hard time not putting his head through a wall. With the Dune series becoming more metaphorical and allegorical as it goes on, the director has stated that if he continued past this third movie, his head would explode. Nevertheless, he is determined to continue the bold and unorthodox strategy of being as faithful to the original books as possible. There have been reports that everyone in Hollywood is giving him strange looks as though he crapped his pants and is currently screaming it out to the world as he waddles through the streets. The people around him are also stunned by the idea that he wants to limit his budget so that he can make a bigger profit. Countless advisors are coming up to him telling him that he needs to change things because sticking to the original material is for dum-dums. Despite the opposition, the director is determined to continue down this controversial path. He points to the Lord of the Rings trilogy as inspiration, proving that he in fact does have great taste. He has also noted that he wants this trilogy of movies to inspire people to go and read the Dune books, which is a very ambitious claim because as far as I know, there isn't a Dune fan in the world that actually reads Dune.
I was acting. Or was I?
Many people are excited for the weekend of September 13th through the 15th because of how many different movies are coming out. Horror fans are once again eating good as Speak No Evil comes out a week after Beetlejuice. In fact, a recent survey has revealed that horror fans are the only fan base in the universe that is currently happy. When asked about the abundance and quality of horror movies, the fan base has come to the group decision that it's because fiction reflects reality and there's no hope right now, so what else are you gonna watch? Well, one other film that you could watch is the 500th live-action Transformer film.
It's not live action.
What do you mean it's not live action? To this reporter's shock, it is not live action. It is in fact an animated film, meaning it's probably going to bomb because we can't have anything good in animation anymore. Oh my god, people are gonna say it's for kids and then it's gonna do poorly and then we're gonna get trash from now on. Oh my god, I hate people sometimes. I'm sorry, I can't do this right now. Okay, I'm good now. There's also The Killer's Game coming out this Friday, which is a movie trying to prove that pro wrestlers are better actors than actors. Despite decades of terrible films, the wrestlers are determined to prove themselves in Hollywood. But considering their current competition, they might just end up doing it. You know, as long as they stop sticking each other with needles in the mouth during a live pay-per-view. This one's not a joke, it actually happened. And finally, the first Daily Wire film in theaters, Am I Racist? Known douchebag Matt Walsh decides to go undercover in order to make fun of his political opponents. He decided to take a break from calling anime and video games satanic in order to rip off Sacha Baron Cohen. Everyone at the Daily Wire must be a giant Cohen fan. I mean, if they hated Cohen's work, it'd be very hypocritical of them to do this type of movie. But also, I think that the opposition will definitely take this all well. I'm sure they won't freak out at all.
Let him fight. The only fun part about this whole Bigfoot debate is watching people scream at each other.
And finally, some rapid-fire news. Recently, there was a false report that the vast majority of the third Spider-Verse movie was going to be scrapped. Sony was outraged about this false report, but they should be more concerned by the fact that every single person that saw it believed it. I mean, how big of a show do you have to be for people to believe that you were going to scrap millions upon millions of dollars worth of work for no reason? Apparently, there's going to be an Ice Age 6, which is news to me because I had no idea that there was an Ice Age 2 through 5. Peter Renaday, the original voice of Master Splinter from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, has sadly passed away because we are not allowed to have any good things. Rest in peace, Master Splinter, you've earned it. And those are all the nerdy things that caught my attention. And yes, I do think all of those things are nerdy. But what do you think about all that? Please leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And remember, if you disagree with everything I have to say, that's perfectly fine. After all, everyone is entitled to their objectively wrong opinion.
I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
Oh, come on. Everyone knows that's worse.
Thank you all so much for watching.
You're still here?
Good night, everybody. Thank you. You bye. Boom.
Do not despair.